Welcome to Fall Summit, a story-based podcast about tales, trails, and epic fails. I'm Octavia.
And I'm Em. For those of you just joining, we're going to bring you 2 stories and our thoughts on the tales, ending with Trail Mix, where I will bring you 3 songs, then Trail Etiquette and Other Shit.
By me. How you doing today, Em?
I'm doing nice. It's beautiful outside today. Let's start with our weather segment. It's nice out, but it is also Fool's Spring.
I think we already had full spring. Now it's just spring, right?
Yeah, it's technically spring, but...
And tomorrow's April 1st. April Fool's Day tomorrow.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Don't play any tricks on me.
I don't ever play any tricks on you.
Your whole life is playing tricks on others.
No. Well, I mean, I trick people into thinking I have a personality all the time.
No, that's...
I trick them into thinking
Actually,
I'm
I don't
normal.
Do very well at tricking them on that one.
Or sane.
I have no personality.
I'm human.
You're not.
That's what I mean. I trick them into thinking I'm human.
For sure. I figured it out, though.
Okay.
I think we've been together long enough.
Yeah.
But I'm good. How are you?
It's spring.
Uh-huh.
And I'm getting urges now to go outside and start cleaning up the yard, or like going through stuff, or getting rid of things, like spring cleaning. My spring cleaning urges are kicking in. And so I believe there's going to be a lot of ADD manic projects happening in the next few weeks, as per usual.
I was going to say it's not that different.
I know. I think I'm going to start with the yard, and then maybe go through bins and just like try to get rid of as much stuff in the bins as we possibly can. I mean, I want to try to sell that bus that we still can't seem to get rid of. Nobody wants a diesel school bus to turn into a camper.
Yeah, I feel like we've pitched this before to our listeners.
I don't know,
but
nobody wants it.
It's a decent bus.
Oh, it's a great bus.
It runs.
Yeah.
It has a tiny bit of rust on it, but anyone who can patch up a floor.
Yeah. It's mostly the wheel wells, which is typical for a bus with all like the salt and stuff from this area. I also want to go through all the clothes and get rid of anything that I haven't worn in the past year. If I haven't worn it in a year, I'm probably never going to wear it. And yes, fashion does come back into style. So if there's anything in there that's like a good quality item, I might hold on to that. But if it's like...
What is your style nowadays?
My style?
Yeah.
Comfortable, polished, but like nice. I don't have one set one.
Okay. What style is the skirt that you just bought?
Oh, cute.
Okay. Can we describe it for the listeners?
Yeah, it's a mini skirt with a little poofy thing, like the frill thing at the bottom.
It's more poofy. I would say you were correct the first time.
Okay, cute. Thank you.
Oh,
my ass looks great in it, so.
I love that for you, and I love that for your,
my
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. My eyes. I know that's objectifying you, and
I already objectified myself, so I think I'm giving you permission.
Okay, so I have consent to objectify you. Amazing.
Mm-hmm, you're welcome.
But that is an ugly skirt, too.
No, it's not. It's
the
cute.
Bottom kills it.
Yes, kills it.
Not in a good way.
Yeah. I like it. Do you like it better than the sparkly pants?
I like your sparkly pants, and it just has to be like, we're going to a disco.
I need to
bowling.
find some. Yeah, I need to find pumps to match with it.
Yeah, you don't have any shoes that go with it, but that one's cute.
Not yet.
And then you just bought those pajama pants that you wear as regular pants.
They're not pajama pants. I bought them as regular pants, but they're comfortable enough to wear as pajamas. Difference. And they are very comfortable. I like those a lot. So anyway, I want to also go through all your stuff and get rid of anything that you haven't worn in a year.
Yeah, I would love to do that also.
You would love to be tortured for several hours by me? I think this seems like your literal worst nightmare.
That doesn't sound great
No,
for me,
no,
because I might wear it at
no.
some point in my future.
Only if it's really good quality. If it's like a good brand, then hold on to it. But if it's like a not great brand, like if the material is kind of then it goes bye-bye. If you haven't worn it in a year, you're not going to wear it again.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So what else did you want to? You had something else you wanted to chat about?
There's a cool work event that's coming up.
Oh yeah.
For those of you that don't know, I work at a Filipino restaurant. And recently, Chef Chris has gotten some accolades for, got nominated for James Beard Award this year, which was exciting.
Yeah.
And it kind of just took off. And now we're busy all the time. And it's only going to get busier
Yeah.
during summer months.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm bracing myself. I'm holding on to the edge of my desk right now.
The edge, the very edge.
No, because that's sharp. It's the corner. So just the part that's not pointy.
Okay.
Anyway,
That's the pointy part.
that's the pointy part. The restaurant I work at also doubles as a kind of safe haven for the queer community.
Yeah.
They do a lot for the queer community at large, in a way that very few spaces do. And in a way, it's kind of a love letter really to intersectionality. So it's a place where queerness isn't just tolerated, it's centered intentionally. So it's celebrated, it's uplifted, it's woven into the fabric of the space itself. Like that's not changing.
Right.
Even with the political climate, the scariness of everything right now, the world, this is a space where people can come and feel safe is pretty special, I feel. And there's been talks of what's the right thing to do now? Should we go underground, in terms of still being able to provide a safe space for the people that it was created for and for the employees and the owners themselves and the business itself, because it's common nowadays for places to be rated, and queer is becoming more of a bad thing,
Oh yeah.
increasingly unsafe to be who you want to be,
Yeah.
which is scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
So there's talks of that, but we shall see. Right now we're not. And in my opinion, like, we've created this space for the queer community. We should be there for the queer community through this scary time.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I agree with that.
long story short, we're
Yeah.
having an event.
Oh, okay. That's what you're gearing up to, an
Yes.
event that is going to be happening.
Joyful event.
Oh,
Queer
yay.
joy, Filipino joy.
Love it.
Okay. Joy of gathering, community, sharing. Anyway, Baby Wants Candy is coming, which is exciting. It's going to be comedy, music, improvisation.
Mm.
And Chris Grace, who stars in Superstore,
Right.
Asian actor, gay actor.
Yeah, I love Superstore.
Yeah, Chris Grace.
Yeah.
Will be the lead in this comedy improvisation.
I love any comedy.
Why do I keep saying?
I don't know.
I think I'm improving
You're improv?
the word
Right.
improvisation.
I think
See?
you're just batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also that.
Yeah.
So that should be fun. And we'll see if we can fit 70 people in the dining
70?
room. Mm-hmm.
What?
I think 50 to 70, but still. That's
Can
a
I
lot.
still get a ticket? Are they still
You
on
better get it
sale?
now.
Yeah.
I don't think they've even gotten public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me know when they do. I want
It's going to be a dinner and a show. Dinner with a buffet.
I don't want a dinner part.
That you have to. That Chris would be offended if you didn't get their dinner that they're making for this event. You better get the fucking dinner package.
Fine.
Thank you. Maybe you and Leaf should go together. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'll ask her. But we're going to what are we going to? We're going to, you want to finish your thing and then I'll tell you the thing
That's it.
okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that should be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So anyway, my sister invited me to go to this hands-off mass mobilization against billionaires being assholes and trying to take over our money and our government and all that stuff. So it should be interesting. Do you think we should probably segue into our story?
First story is called High Altitude Desert.
Cool. Have you ever been to a high altitude desert?
I don't think so.
I don't think I have either. Would you like to one day?
Maybe.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I like desert. You know, I'm attached to the desert.
Yeah. So these are deserts that are real high.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, they're like
Hence the high altitude part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't want to do that. I just want a normal desert.
I would experience it at least once and then see, and then I would make a judgment after that.
Sure. You do that.
Yep.
And I will go to the Mojave.
Cool. You don't want to actually be there. You just want a picture of it.
I want to actually be there and live there.
Aesthetically.
No, I want to live there and see what it's like to live in a desert community. I think that would be really fun. But let's get into the story called High Altitude Desert.
Great. Love it. Let's go.
Okay. The morning sun cast a golden glow over the stark, barren landscape as I set out on my hike. At 3,500 meters above sea level, the air was thin but crisp, invigorating even. The terrain was harsh, rock-strewn trails winding through high-altitude deserts, flanked by towering, snow-dusted peaks. At the very start of my journey, I came across a small stream. The water glistened in the early light, tumbling over smooth stones. I considered filling my bottle but hesitated. There was a settlement upstream, and I hadn't packed a water filter. I'd read that the trail ahead had marked water sources, so I convinced myself there was no need to take the risk of drinking untreated water. I stepped over the stream and pressed on. The first few kilometers were steady, and the sheer beauty of the landscape kept my spirits high. The remoteness had always fascinated me. There were ancient monasteries perched on cliffs, fluttering prayer flags. The silence was both eerie and comforting. But soon, the reality of the high-altitude desert began to set in. The sun bore down relentlessly, and with every breath, my mouth grew drier. By the time I reached the first marked water source on my map, my throat was parched. I hurried towards it, only to find the streambed cracked and bone dry. A faint anxiety gripped me. Still, I reasoned that another water source lay ahead, so I forced myself to push forward. Kilometer after kilometer passed, and each anticipated water point was nothing but a mirage of disappointment. The desert was unforgiving. My muscles ached with every step, and my breath came in ragged gasps. The thin air at this altitude drained me faster than I had expected. The water in my bottle was gone, and with it, my energy began to fade. I was sweating profusely, losing precious hydration with each step. My head pounded, a dull, insistent drumbeat, warning me of dehydration. Still, I trudged forward, stubborn and desperate. More than 20 kilometers into the hike, having gained and lost over 2,000 meters in elevation, I could feel my body breaking down. My vision blurred, my legs trembled beneath me. Each step became an immense effort, as if gravity had doubled its grip on my body. The air felt heavier now, my breathing shallow and labored. Then, the world tilted. I barely registered my knees hitting the ground before everything spun into darkness. I don't know how long I lay there, but when I came to, a figure loomed over me, a weathered face, deeply tanned by the mountain sun. A villager, draped in traditional woolens, was kneeling beside me. Without a word, he pressed a bottle of water to my lips. I drank greedily, the cold liquid reviving my parched throat, sending a rush of relief through my body. With surprising strength, he helped me to my feet and guided me to his modest stone house nearby. Inside, the air was warm, scented with butter and wood smoke. I collapsed into a cushioned seat as he disappeared into a small adjoining kitchen. Moments later, he returned with a steaming cup of butter tea and a plate of freshly made parathas, glistening with golden ghee. I ate in silence, the rich, salty tea warming my core, the flaky bread restoring my strength. The villager watched over me, nodding approvingly, nodding approvingly as I regained some color in my face. He didn't speak much, but his actions said everything, an unspoken understanding, an acknowledgement of the mountain's harsh lessons. After a few hours of rest, I thanked him profusely, and with renewed energy, continued the final stretch of my hike. I reached the trail's end, humbled and wiser. That day, nature let me off with a stern warning. The mountains are no place for foolish mistakes. They demand respect, preparation, and humility, and next time I vowed I would carry a water filter, no matter what.
Wow. What a stroke of luck, though. That he passed out somewhere near where somebody else lived.
Yeah, or that was a mirage.
Nah, divine intervention.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how long his hike was meant to be, but I definitely think he learned a lesson of, even if you're just going out for 4 or 5 hours, to always bring, and it's even if it says that there's going to be water sources along the way,
Yeah.
to bring some type of water filtration system, even if it's just iodine, 'cause that's just a dropper. You
I
just
mean, it didn't even need to be a long hike. Dehydration can set in real quick in
That's
those
true.
conditions.
That's true. Yeah. He said he was sweating profusely, and that will just dehydrate you even more quickly.
But I did like the story.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I think that's such a great thing that happened.
it's it's insane. Just
Oh, I don't mean the rescue.
what? What's a great thing that happened?
I don't know, just like character development, you know? It's like if that person had not had that experience
Of being rescued?
of almost dying
Right.
and being rescued, yes.
So it is about him being rescued.
Yeah.
No.
But it's the near death experience.
Yeah.
It's not the rescue. It
I see what you're saying. Almost dying, and
does things to people.
not knowing that there would be any help coming,
Right.
and just passing out.
Does
Yeah.
things to people.
Yeah, that's true. I've never had an experience like that. Have you?
Yeah.
You have.
First grade.
You did?
Yeah.
What happened?
I went to Zoom Flume.
A water park,
Yeah,
for
water
anyone who
park.
doesn't know.
Oh no, it was Splashdown.
Okay.
But another one.
A water park.
Yep. For one of my friend's birthdays.
Yeah.
And I was going down, those tubes, the inflatable tubes.
Yeah.
That you go
Put on
in.
a slide.
Yeah, and then it goes onto like a flat part, and it goes around like slowly around the
Yeah.
bendy parts. I was in that, and I fell like into the tube. Like,
Oh yeah, like your butt
sunk
fell
in.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then my head went underwater, and I couldn't get out. Like I wasn't able
Oh my
to get up,
God.
so I was like drowning, and somebody had to come in and rescue me, and they were blowing the whistle.
Oh my God, really? You
Yeah,
almost drowned at a water park?
Yeah, and a parent from one of the other kids was like pointing and screaming and saying, "This kid's drowning."
Oh, and how did that change you and your outlook on life, almost dying?
I don't think it changed me.
You don't? So you don't
No.
do you think that it changed
Okay.
this person then?
Yes, I do. So what it did for me is now I have a paralyzing fear of water parks and won't go down on any of those floaty mechanisms.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that having a near-death experience as a child compared to as an adult is different? Yeah.
I think when you're an adult, like you think about death, like the inevitability of death a lot more.
Yeah, well, you think about it a lot more, but also it's different.
Right. Like you only have a certain amount of time. Anything could happen to you at any moment. You never know what's going to happen. So you want to live your life to the fullest extent and, not be bogged down by anxieties or crippling fears and just
Yeah.
live your life. But I think as a kid, it makes you have those anxieties and fears and traumas, and you hold on to them for a very long time.
Yeah. You want to read the second story now?
Yeah, I think we should get into it. What's it called?
Story number 2 is Swampy Saga. It's gonna be a swampy one. So we're going from the high altitude desert to a swamp.
Like a bog?
Sure.
Like Shrek?
Sure. The day started like any good adventure, full of optimism, slightly overpacked backpacks, and questionable weather forecasts we all conveniently ignored. Our goal? A 4-mile hike to a stunning coastal Cape Point. A picture-perfect place to soak in the view, have a snack, and pretend we were rugged explorers we always imagined ourselves to be. To be fair, the way there was beautiful. The ocean stretched endlessly before us, the salty wind whipped through our hair, and the cliffs made us feel like we had conquered something grand. But then, as we admired our little victory, the sky darkened. A glance at the radar, which of course we had only checked after getting the furthest possible point from safety, confirmed the worst. An incoming storm was about to make the return journey very interesting. Given the forecast doom, we had two options: retrace our original route and risk a soaking wet, slippery cliffside walk back, or opt for what looked like a slightly shorter inland route. You can guess which one we chose. At first, it was fine. Then, the trail, which was probably an old game path, began to disappear beneath our feet. Before long, we found ourselves deep in the kind of terrain that makes you reconsider life choices. The mud was relentless, sucking at our boots like some kind of backwood quicksand. Then came the blackberries, 6 feet of thorn-covered misery tangled over drowned logs, blocking our way forward like nature's version of barbed wire. The only solution? Take off our packs, shove them under the log, and army crawl through the filth. Emerging from the brambled tunnel, scratched, soaked, and looking like we had lost a fight, we thought, surely it can't get any worse than that. We were wrong. So wrong. Because then came the swamp. For the next 3 miles, every step was a gamble. Some patches of ground were stable, some were basically sponges disguised as solid earth, and some just swallowed our boots whole. It was a full-body workout of knee-high marches, balancing acts, and near face plants into unidentified bog water. And just when our legs were screaming for mercy, we hit what we later dubbed the staircase exercise from hell, a seemingly endless series of uphill slogs that just left us gasping for air and questioning whether civilization was even real anymore. By the end, we stumbled back to our cabin. We looked like we had just escaped a survival reality show, and that's when we saw it. There, on the table, was an adorable surprise picnic our mom had lovingly set up for us. A checkered cloth, a spread of homemade goodies, an absolute labor of love. We were touched, moved even. We each took a few bites, made appreciative noises that barely qualified as words, and then out cold, fully clothed, still caked with mud, completely motionless in our beds. The picnic was a casualty of our swampy ordeal, but honestly, we had no regrets. Well, except maybe the part where we thought bushwhacking sounded like a viable shortcut. That's crazy.
That was crazy.
I don't think if it's not on a map, if the trail isn't on a map, it's probably not going to work. And unless you have some kind of a satellite, because my mom bushwhacks.
Yeah.
Again, mom segment. My mom bushwhacks. People bushwhack all the time. It's not unheard of to bushwhack, but you have
the proper
you have to have the proper equipment in order to bushwhack. Like one of those what are those devices that can tell you like how high elevation is and stuff, like the little lines on the map? What's that called?
Topographic?
Yeah, like it's yeah, sure.
Like a topography map.
Yeah, like a topography map. So like, okay, it is really steep here, or there's a swamp there.
That's what always used to piss off my mom, is when my dad would go bushwhacking and not bring anything with him. So, would not say where he was going, wouldn't carry, like, an emergency, the beacon.
Oh, really?
And would just go and do the thing. And she was like, "You're going to get hurt, and I'm not going to be able to find your body." So then she made him carry that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, years ago, they didn't have this technology, and people would just rough it, and they would do it. But now that we have the technology, why not use it?
Right.
We have the technology for a reason, so people have developed it in order to be more safe. It's so
Some
sweet.
people are so prideful.
Yeah. It's so sweet, though, that their mommy made them lunch when they got back. No, swamps are scary. I don't
Mhm.
know what might be under there. I don't want to go traipsing around in bog water and army crawling under prickly branches. I think as soon as we got to the prickly branches, I would have turned around and then been like, okay, let's just go the other way
Oh yeah,
back.
for sure. Same.
I'm sure we can stay away from the ledge. We can crawl in our butts. Like, we're not going to go over the ledge.
Right.
Like, why opt for the unknown rather than the known, even if there is a storm and it's storming?
Trail mix.
Yay.
First on the list is Gora by Night Freak. Trail vibe, the pulse. Earthy, primal, lost in the moment. Night Freak is one of the rising names in Afro House, and Gora is a masterclass in slow burning intensity. This track isn't about big drops or fast paced beats. It's about feeling the rhythm build inside you, matching your heartbeat, syncing with your steps. This is the soundtrack for deep focus hiking. Those moments when your body locks into a pace and you stop thinking about the trail because you become part of it. The sun beating down, the earth firm beneath your feet, the sound of your breath mixing with the steady, hypnotic pulse of the music. It's a primal kind of movement, the kind that reminds you this isn't just a hike, it's a ritual. Next on the list is Indigo Puff by Sundara Karma. Trail vibe, the dream, surreal, cinematic, drifting between worlds. Sundara Karma makes music that feels like a dream you don't want to wake up from, and Indigo Puff is no exception. It's floaty, ethereal, just a little offbeat, the kind of song that turns a simple trail into something bigger, something mythical. This is for the blue hour hikes, when the world feels softer, when the sky melts into colors that don't quite exist, and when every shadow looks like it could be something more. It's for trails where reality feels just a little distant, like you stepped into a place that only exists for you in that moment. It's a beautiful haze, a half-remembered daydream, a trail you're not entirely sure you didn't imagine. Next on the list is Shoe Peru by Kiz Daniel. Trail vibe, the strut, confident, playful, built for movement. Some songs just make you move different. Shoe Peru isn't for deep thoughts or heavy reflection. It's for that moment when you pick up the pace, when your feet hit the dirt with confidence, and when the world feels like it's yours for the taking. Kiz Daniel has a way of making every beat feel like a celebration, and this track is pure, unfiltered energy. It's a song for hiking like you own the trail, running just because you can, or taking a detour just because it looks fun. It's joy in motion, the soundtrack for feeling good, untouchable, alive. The end.
Thank you, Em.
You're welcome.
All right, you ready for some trail etiquette and other shit? For today on trail etiquette and other shit, we have water purification.
Woo!
We've talked about water purification in like bigger lists, but this is a deep dive into it a little bit more. To ensure safe drinking water on the trail, you must purify any water source from nature to prevent illness, like Giardia. There are several effective methods. 1. Boiling. Bringing water to a rolling boil for 1 minute is foolproof, but uses fuel, is inconvenient mid-hike, and results in hot water. 2. Iodine treatment. Lightweight, effective against most pathogens, but requires a 20-30 minute wait, leaves an aftertaste, and isn't safe for pregnant women. Chlorine drop, similar to iodine, inexpensive and easy to find, but also requires a wait time and careful dosing. Water filters removes bacteria, protozoa, and dirt with no wait time, but can be bulky, expensive, and requires maintenance. UV light. Lightweight and easy, but requires batteries and doesn't filter out particles. Always wash your hands and containers after handling untreated water to prevent contamination, cross-contamination. That's what I got for you. So out of those 5 options, which one would you be drawn to?
Probably adding the chlorine.
I was like, it's like UV light, I would be worried that it didn't work. I don't care about the particulates. I'll drink a little dirt.
I never heard that.
And so I would be a little wary of that. I like the filter idea because it will just taste like water.
I like boiling because it's the easiest.
But what if you're like mid-hike and you don't have a pot with you or
Okay,
fire?
When do I not have a pot with me? Don't you know who you're talking to?
Yeah, you always bring a pot and a spoon on a hike, so I guess that's silly. Okay.
And I just need to learn how to make a fire
Well, you know how to make a fire?
with matches.
Yeah.
Lighter. Oh, I might have my lighter.
You would have your lighter with you.
Yeah, I'd have my lighter with me.
Because you always have one with you.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Great.
In your little kit with all your other essentials.
Yeah, because I'm constantly thinking I'm on some kind of mythical side quest.
That's absolutely, and you are on a mythical side quest.
I'm going to the mountains of, what is it?
Gondor.
Gondor, yeah.
Did I get that right?
I don't know. Sounds right. Sure. I'm going to the mountains.
Gondor.
I'm going to throw the ring to get melted.
Yeah, into the fiery pit to get melted
I
back.
constantly think I'm in Lord of the Rings. And I'm reading Lord of the Rings right now.
Is that why you're constantly thinking you're in Lord of the Rings?
No, I just have problems.
Yeah. Who doesn't have problems? If you have problems, please message us, private message us, and let us know your problems. Just kidding. Don't do that.
Don't ever do that. I already get that enough. I have a face that people just like are like, this is my life story. Here you go.
Yeah.
Word vomit.
Like that's what you get. That's what you get, Anyway, that's what I got for you.
Thank you.
Final notes? Final thoughts?
Always wash your hands.
Always wash your hands. Yeah. 20 seconds.
Examination.
Is it ABC? Oh, happy birthday.
Twice.
20 seconds, right?
So any final thoughts?
I liked the picnic. I just keep going back to that damn picnic. But surviving and almost dying and having somebody come and literally rescue you who doesn't know you and obviously lives in an area of the world that isn't as reachable. So probably I would assume have limited resources, but to see somebody literally dying and then helping them, that's amazing.
That is amazing.
That's just amazing.
And I want to go there.
Yeah, me too. But also, I want somebody to make me a picnic when I come back from a long hike and have it ready waiting for me.
Sure. I won't go on the hike and I'll make you a picnic instead.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
There are links in our show notes. So there's going to be links in the show notes if Dave remembers to put them in.
Yep.
Follow us on Patreon because we have bonus episodes. We have musical content.
Yep.
We have playlists.
Yep.
Which is the same as musical content.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got 4 to 6 bonus stories per bonus episode.
That's true.
Sometimes. And check out our merch store because we have merch. And you can purchase merch at our merch store.
Oh, can you purchase merch at a merch store?
Yes, so there's merch.
There is merch.
We have merch.
Yeah.
You could also have merch of ours.
You would like the merch.
Of ours. It's Fall Summit. Merch.
Tales, trails, and epic fails.
Yeah, but tales as in tales like adventures.
It could also be tales as in dog tales.
It's not dog tales.
I know.
None of that is dog tales.
I know.
Sorry.
I know.
But anyway, that's it from us crazy folks here at Fall Summit, where every mountain is just one more almost there.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy it, well, that's your epic fail for the week. Hey. Hee.
If you've got any questions, stories, or trail fails of your own, hit us up. Email us at fallsummit.pod@gmail.com or Fall Summit on Instagram. You can also find us on YouTube. We'll be back next week with more tales of misadventures and questionable decisions. Until then, happy trails and don't fall off a cliff.
See you out there.